That's a frigorific Tuesday morning. If you had some showers, then, well, as they say, some blessings are on the way.
Yeah.
Good morning. Welcome to That Sunshine on a Rainy Day. Wake Up Nigeria.
It is the #1 premium breakfast TV show, and Wake Up Nigeria is here every single morning, and we take out time to curate the very best experience for you every single day.
Well, there's a whole lot of electricity, electric energy right here, because you need it this morning to get out of bed. Might be hard for you, but when you remember that the bills are there to be paid, well, you will stand up and make every moment
When you
count.
said electricity, I thought maybe you were going to give some people some, some of your bandwidth. I don't know.
The rain is falling now.
Yeah, so the electricity that you are giving them, when there's no light.
It'll come down. But here, of course, to put that smile, make it wider than we have here, over 100 meters. If you can, do that on your face. We'll be here for you this Tuesday for 1 hour, 45 minutes.
Yes, sir.
And of course, the rest of the week. But for now, we're going to give you that entertainment that you require to kickstart your week.
Why? Because entertainment is what we do. We're very good at it, and we've been licensed to thrill you with the best and the very best in quality TV entertainment. It's all for your viewing pleasure, so make sure you stay right there.
My name is Mike Mesekeno.
And I'm Titilayo. So if you would like to stream the show live, just make sure you visit our website. That's tvcentertainment.tv, or indeed check out our YouTube channel.
Okay,
That's
TVC Entertainment.
TVC Entertainment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's where you can watch quite a number of our shows.
Yeah.
And of course, there's the app which is available to download on the Apple iOS Store and the Google Play Store.
And of course, if you're not following us yet, please, we're not really particular about our privacy all the time. We want you in our business on Wake Up Nigeria. Just check us out. That's Wake Up Nigeria TVCE. That's where we put our shenanigans on. We saw quite a bit of activity on our page yesterday.
Oh, definitely. You saw somebody once in a while, they're on a billboard coming tush. And then at the other time, they are touts in K2 Motor Park.
It's not me that said it too. Winnie, it wasn't me that said it. GOTV channel 16, UHF channel 49, StarTimes channel 121. It's a packed show, and we're about to get started.
There's a whole lot that we have in store for you this morning.
Yeah.
We will kick off with relationship, right?
It's actually parenting.
Ooh, it's quite
Parenting.
close. You see, relationship is what leads to parenting.
Mike, really?
Uncle Celeste, of course, great to be here this morning. As a champion of values, character, coach, and philanthropist, dedicated to shaping the hearts and minds of the next generation. He stands as a beacon of hope and a tireless advocate for human values. Today, we'll be looking at how to help children succeed in school.
Yep, it's back to school week.
Oh, back to school week?
Yes.
Ooh, school fees.
New shoes, new socks, new stationery, new bills.
We have David Ine, a pastor, gospel musician, songwriter, and guitarist. He joined the choir at an early age of 14 and has ever since grown to love music, and the passion drove him to learn how to play the guitar himself. And today, he'll be performing Chimo.
Dr. Ayodele Rena stands as a beacon in the realm of pediatric healthcare. He's known as the noisy pediatrician, renowned consultant pediatrician and leading advocate for child health in Nigeria. His unique approach to health education seamlessly intertwines global practices with a deep understanding of local child care customs. Yes, has your child been having the sniffles, cold, catarrh recently? You want to figure out a way to avoid this situation? Now that's the conversation later on today. Okay, the atmosphere is cooling down now, yeah?
Yeah, it is.
Have you checked all your surroundings, like the gutters, the roofing, everything around you to be sure that nothing is stopping?
Leaking, yeah.
Yeah,
because just this morning, by the time rain started and all of that, I went into the costume room and I saw somewhere water was dripping. And like just mentioned, I don't know how many people. Well, roofs these days don't get to be replaced as much as older ones. Yeah. But I know that the rains, the way they are coming, we're gradually getting into the rainy season. We're actually in it. Yeah. So you would find some things that you had probably not seen about, you got overlooked and all of that. And so you just check out, because you might just go out to the house and come back now. You'll find that your house is extension of...
I think we should even pay more attention to the kids. This rainy season, the weather is cold, so we need to ensure that they're properly strapped this season, so that they don't catch a cold.
It's only when rain is falling, no. Yesterday the sun,
Right? Because I won't be surprised if by afternoon it's really sunny.
Baking.
So imagine wearing your kids, making sure that their gear is fully tight. And, like,
and then
for example, like those thick sweaters. And then they get to school and they are sweating because it's hot.
And then, well, I'm not sure. Some schools have AC, but depending on the band they're on, whether it's band A or
no, for that band, the big band, they used to turn off their AC now. All right, let's take a short time and now with the news coming right up after this. We will get you that report in subsequent bulletins. Now, the Court of Appeal in Abuja on Monday did not sit to hear the appeal lodged by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission against the order of a Kogi State High Court, which restrained the anti-graft agency from arresting the former governor, Yahaya Bello. The Kogi State Court, in a ruling on April 17th, restrained the EFCC from arresting, detaining, and prosecuting Bello. The judge, I.A. Jamil, gave the order in a 2-hour judgment delivered in suit in Lokoja, the Kogi State capital. The EFCC is seeking to arraign the former governor on 19 counts, bordering on alleged money laundering, breach of trust, and misappropriation of funds to the tune of 80.2 billion naira. A UK parliamentary researcher and another man have been charged with spying for China after allegedly providing information which could be useful to an enemy. Christopher Cash, the researcher, and Christopher Berry were charged under the Official Secrets Act. The Met Police said they are accused of giving articles, notes, documents, or information to a foreign state. China has called the allegation malicious slander. Counter-terrorism police have described the allegations as very serious. Mr. Berry from Whitney in Oxfordshire and Mr. Cash of Whitechapel, London, were arrested last March in connection with the investigation. It was previously reported that one of the men, Mr. Cash, was a parliamentary researcher involved with the China Research Group and who is understood to have had access to several conservative MPs. The offenses alleged against Mr. Cash are claimed to have happened between the 20th of January 2022 and the 3rd of February 2023, while those against Mr. Berry were alleged to have happened between the 28th of December 2021 and the 3rd of February 2023. Well, that's it on Sports and the News for now. We'll take the time out. Stay with us. We'll be back in a bit.
It's time for What's Up and About, here on Wake Up Nigeria.
It is. An update on our discussion yesterday. Now, just yesterday, we spoke about the Abuja-based Chinese supermarket, which is situated in the China Center of Commerce.
China Chamber of Commerce.
Chamber of Commerce. And just in less than, from the first time when the report came in just about 24 hours, the FCCPC, which stands for the Federal Competition and Consumer and Protection Commission, swung into action.
As in sharp.
And before you know, it was sealed off.
It bombed the place.
Yes, and some things started coming out. Some other videos of, I was expecting if we were in Abuja, one or two of us might probably have gone there. A number of Nigerians besieged the place before that happened, just to confirm. And what happened was that they said prior to January, Nigerians were allowed in there. Prior to January. So this is quite a recent development. And according to the manager of the Chamber of Commerce or the facility, he said that it is accessible to Nigerians within the complex. I mean, people who work there, people who have access to there, but not to other people outside. And it's just, for me, I'm coining this the impact of social media. Like, social media is a blank canvas.
So it's a tool.
What's that?
It's a tool.
What is what?
So
Rema.
As you go and drink coffee.
But I actually don't know if it was only social media, though. I think the first point of call was the person who spoke out.
Where did it speak out through?
No.
Did you use in speaking out?
I hear you, but the thing is, he could have recorded that video and kept it to himself, but he posted on social media.
And that's what I was saying.
And that's what,
is the impact of social and what social media as a tool for social change. And you see, I talk about things. I will talk about how.
Another Rema.
Wow.
I beg you, pass this thing. I'm going to talk about how, social media, how much of a toxic environment and toxic place it is. For me, it is a blank slate. It's just like a mirror. It's what you put into it that comes out. And it can be, as in this case, used for good. We've seen it at different points in time, right? And this is big. This is big for me because it will now show that there was no official, there was no explanation that would really suffice in such a manner as to say. I mean, even if you put inherently Chinese stuff there, I mean, look at you. You eat anything.
I eat anything.
The other day, I sent them a post. What was that post I sent to you?
Of a sick cockroach.
Sick cockroach. Was ready to eat it. What? So even if you bring imported frog, imported toad or whatever, we'll eat it.
Mike, for the first time yesterday, I made mango sauce. What? Have you ever had mango sauce?
I've never.
That's how adventurous my palate is. So I will eat anything. Thanks to social media.
Foodie conversation at this point.
Yeah.
But I wanted to comment on the fact that apparently, according to reports, Cindy Liu Bei, that's the owner of the supermarket, fled with her family.
Yeah, she did.
In the morning.
That's it, jackpot.
So that was very questionable, in my opinion. Why run? Why not just respond to the questions? Why leave the other staff to now respond to the questions on your behalf? I just have so many questions up. And then, of course, in the comment section, you know how Nigerians are now. Yeah. They threw all sorts of what's the term now? Conspiracy theories as to why she could have run. And we are not, obviously, it's a developing story. We don't have any details after that.
When even ex-governor said they run. So why should we not go run?
But why?
So the irony of it all is the fact that there are actually Nigerians working
there
in the store, in the supermarket.
Yeah, if she had employed only
if she had Chinese, it would maybe would have even been a little more discreet. But then again, you cannot operate such a facility
and prevent
the citizens of in another country and prevent its citizens from having access to it. Do you understand? For whatever reason. Still going back to the impact of social media here. Mike, that's why I said spot on. I mean, we're grateful for, yes, social media has its advantages and it has its disadvantages. It has its pros and it has its cons. We've seen social media being used as a tool for social change. Over the weekend, there was a particular lady who posted a video of a man who was having a seizure on social media, calling for help.
Okay.
Unfortunately, they were trying to get help. They were stopping road users, other road users. Nobody stopped because, of course, everyone was afraid. They didn't want a situation whereby the man dies, in their care. So there was that lack of responsibility from, us as citizens. But she used social media as an avenue to cry out that please, she called out to emergency centers, she called out to doctors. Unfortunately, after 5 hours, no help came. And sadly, this man died.
Wow, wow. Now,
but she, still going back to the, impact of social media. We are grateful for it, and I'm happy that we are in a time where we can always also use social media to, propagate certain, issues. Whether it is health, whether it is social, whether it is political, any sort of issue that is, that concerns us, we can use social media as that tool to propagate it and demand for the change that we want as a people. Because even the incident, the incident I just mentioned, it calls to question the health, Ministry of Health. Because how is it that it wasn't even happened in the West. It was along the express road. Yeah. No emergency health center was able to come to this man's aid. 5 hours later.
The health industry is one industry that when they say don't let Nigeria happen to you, that is
health
one major
sector,
point.
yeah. So
and I want to about that, yeah. And then we're talking about a brain drain. Even if you want people who are professionals in a particular sector to remain and to stay and to work, some people even want optimal working conditions to do their job. Some
they want to
love
thrive.
the job so much that if you just give them the optimal conditions, some might even do it. I know some people that won't do it without even getting paid for it.
I agree, Mike.
They just create optimal situations. Like we've used social media to call out things like this. Yeah. We'll continue keeping on calling out for things that we require impact on and change on as soon as possible. Our health sector really needs a lot of revamp.
And it starts from the kids. It starts from schools, starts from primary schools. It starts from homes. Even just basic first aid classes, just first aid drills, even within your family space, in your family unit, knowing what to do if someone is in a particular state, what to do in case of fire, what to do in case of any situation you find yourself in. We have to find a way to use this same platform, social media, to start putting out the right type of content to teach people.
Yes, I agree with you. And I really would have to give kudos to a couple of people who are very, very intentional with how they use their platform in education, because it's also a tool for education, right? There are a lot of people. So when that incident happened, a few people used the platform that's on social media to to teach people on how to do CPRs and how to treat a case of seizure, which in this regard was the case. You know, so that sort of, enlightened, people, on what to do if they're faced with that kind of situation. You know how back then in school, Mike, secondary school, when you have seizure, you carry spoon.
Yeah, that's usually not. You
can't do that.
Some people do all sorts of wrong things, pouring palm oil, pouring all sorts of things.
Right, which is wrong.
A lot of things that we learned that time we have to unlearn.
Yeah.
And while you're doing that, you ensure that antecedents matter. You look at the person that you're listening to on social media. You look at the profile. What has this person? How do you? It's quite easy to spot information that might be incorrect.
People are also using their online platform, social media, to also help get people out of poverty. Talking about the chess master himself, who just broke the record, Tunde Onokoya. He broke the record, I think, 58 hours.
60 hours.
He did 60 hours. But the record was 58.
Yeah.
And he did that at Times Square. And people were probably wondering, why is this so important? Now, if you go to his page, you'll see some videos of him with children who he has literally brought out of the slums.
At Oshodi,
yes,
Ikorodu, different parts of Nigeria. Yeah. I mean, this is someone who's, making a real impact. And I know that people will say you need to have monies to make impact. No, you don't need to have monies to make impact. Even with, the little, you can make, no matter how small the impact, whether it is on social media, whether it is social media using as a tool, whatever it is, just make that impact. Let somebody, be grateful for you.
Yes, indeed. Now, we would love to hear your thoughts. We talked about quite a few things today, but your thoughts, of course, are very welcome. Use our hashtag Wakeupnigeria on TVC. Tag us Wakeupnigeria TVCE with your comments. Let's take a quick break, everyone. We'll be back. It's time for us to take a quick look at what's happening on the covers of the papers this morning. Mike Messikeno is here as well. Let's start, shall we? Today's Tuesday, April 23rd, 2024. On the cover of the Vanguard, it says here, IGP kicks as ex-presidents, others back state police. Nigeria not ready, mature for state police, say IGP. We can't manage internal security without state police, says Jonathan. Governors must be transparent, says General Abubakar. Let's see what else we have here. Top left here, court vacates order suspending Ganduje. How gunmen killed Babcock varsity lecturer, abducted 2 in Ogun. On Okwama Ewu, help, we are dying in the forests. Displaced residents cry to Oborori. And let's see what else we have here. It says, at the African counter-terrorism meeting in Abuja, there's a photo story there of the of a large number of people, including the president there in the photo. On Ondo Guber, aspirants kick as Ayedatiwa extends olive branch to co-contestants. It also says here, terrorism is evil, must be banished in Africa, according to Tinubu. Coastal Superhighway Project, misplaced priority, says Obi. That's what we have on the cover of the Vanguard. Mike, any of those stories pop out to you there?
Let's take a look at terrorism. Of course, yesterday there was the counter-terrorism conference, Africa-wide and all of that. And it is something, for me, you have to work in synergy. Just talking about different governments, because these terrorists also, they are not islands on themselves. They work together as teams with different divisions and all of that. So if the governments work together, then there is a path towards resolving the issue of insecurity around Africa, West Africa, and of course Africa at large.
So a meeting like this is the first step to in this battle against terrorism. Let's see what we have on the cover of the Daily Times. Do you have that? We have Nigeria not ripe for state police. IGP insists, says governors could use police force under them for political personal gains. It also says here, we can't have adequate security without state policing, according to Jonathan. Now, the story starts there on the cover and wraps up on page 4. On Kano matters, judge reverses order suspending Ganduje as APC national chairman. At the bottom there, it says Nigeria will strengthen regional collaboration against terrorism, says Tinubu. NNPCL deploys resources to transform Nigeria into gas-powered nation. Page 14 has more on that. I wanted to, I've not really given too much thought on this issue of state police, but I do understand that, of course, in the U.S., they have different state policing.
Oh, yes.
Obviously, you can't really compare the U.S. to Nigeria.
is definitely a state-policed country.
Yeah.
That's why you have the LAPD, the NYPD, and all of that.
Yeah.
So definitely, they are all under the different jurisdictions. But this is a problem where the IGP has concerns, and his concerns are very valid. Even without state policing, yes, the governors still use, or politicians still use the police to intimidate. So imagine when all of that setup is all under their control. Imagine what level of intimidation, as it were, that will be possible. So maybe some things need to be put in place so that there is some level of accountability. Nobody can just stand up and use the force for personal victimization, or personal intimidation, or something like that. There has to be that setup for checks and balances. You don't allow so I do understand where the IGP has concerns.
But I'm just trying to think about if you have a particular budget for the police force, for instance, and it's allocated, for instance, to each state to use, as opposed to it being used at the central level. I'm just thinking, in a place like Lagos, we see how impactful Lagos State has been in certain other areas. Even education, even road networks, and so on. I'm just feeling like, maybe if there could be a test phase, or at least some kind of maybe simulation of what it would come out like, what it would look like.
Talking about that budget, we know how it is, where allocations that are given to states, and the issue has always been, do they use it for what needs to be done? Remember what the Senate President said at one time when he spoke about allocations to state governors, and it's caused quite a lot of issue. I don't think the Senate President will just come up and make an unfounded statement anyhow. There's a lot about that thing shrouded in secrecy, as it were. So my point is that when that happens now, you find that even the barracks that are complaining about underfunding when it comes to the security forces and police, and when it enters the states and all of that, you know how governors can be. You find out that this year they release somebody that's supposed to receive 100,000 is receiving 5,000, all because of the somebody came and funds that were allocated to a particular reason were embezzled or were kept for something else. So really, I would understand the IGP's concerns on that one.
Okay.
Now,
at this point, we would love let's move on to another paper, but your thoughts on that will be, of course, highly welcome. We have the Daily Independent here with the same headline, a similar headline as some of the other papers, but let's move on from that story. It says here, Terrorism now greater threat to nationhood, says Tinubu. Links it to illegal mining activities, solicits better cooperation among regional blocs, advocates Regional Counter-Terrorism Center. At the top left there, Rivers Assembly overrides Fubara, extends local government chairman tenures, and Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway not a priority, says Obi. Says project may not be completed in 30 years. And that's what we have on the cover of the Daily Independent. There has been a lot of back and forth about the coastal highway, especially as regards how it affects a lot of businesses along the Lagos coastline who have invested heavily, especially with regards tourism and recreation for the people of Lagos. And of course, it does feel like, you know, there could be some sort of adjustment to the plans, to the structure that they wanted to put in place. If they want to, maybe it might cost a little bit more money. But I don't know. It's just really a question of what can be done, whether we want to encourage the businesses to stay afloat or we want to just focus on building that highway. Of course, the reason for the highway is also very, very important. But I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Use our hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC. And of course, tag us #WakeUpNigeria TVCE with your thoughts on social media. We can't wait to see them. Let's take a quick break then. Okay, but yeah, all right, let's see what's happening in the kitchen before we take that break.
Titi, you have forgotten that the kitchen is one of the most intricate elements of the show. Good morning, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome to my Titi. Yes, this is Chef Dunas, and this morning she is making one of your favorite food if you are from the West, right? Ikokore.
Ikokore Ijebu.
Ikokore Ijebu.
So is that also to Ijebu this morning?
Ijebu. So is that Ikokore? Is the Ikokore different from Ikokore Ijebu?
No, it's the same,
same thing.
It's Ikokore
Oh, okay,
Ijebu. Some people even call it Ifokore.
I hear people say Ifokore. So what's the difference?
There is the same thing.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
So you can call it Ifokore or Ikokore.
Yes.
What does Ikokore mean?
It's the name of the food. It's just like you asking what is Eba, the meaning of Eba.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Okay.
That's the name.
Ikokore, yes, that's what we're making this morning,
and
guys.
It is made from water yam.
Water yam. So please go ahead and reel out the ingredients.
Okay. This morning we are going to Ijebu.
Yes.
So this is Ikokore is an Ijebu food. We have our water yam. This is the grated one.
What do you use in grating it? Do you blend or do you grate?
No, I use grater.
Okay.
And mind you, when grating, you don't allow the little yam to fall inside. If you have, make sure you remove them from it.
So it's better to use the grater with the
you grate it. There's particular grater that Ijebu normally use that you have to is placed on a wooden that you put your stool down, you put it there, you sit on it. You sit on it, then you use the
so it's like a grinding stone. Is it like using a grinding stone?
No. It's just like the normal.
I'm just trying to imagine it.
The normal iron grater.
Yes. Okay. And so what else?
So this is the outcome of our grated cocoyam.
Okay.
Here I have my pepper, I have my beef, then boiled beef. I've boiled it already.
Okay.
Then I have my Titus
smoked
fish. Then this is the most important thing is your ogiri Ijebu.
Oh, really?
Yes, ogiri is made out of
locust
melon. No, not melon. This is melon.
Melon.
Yes, they use melon. Melon is ogiri is extracted from melon.
Okay.
Then I have my seasoning and salt. Then palm wine.
Palm oil.
Palm oil. Sorry.
Yes.
I have my palm oil.
Yes. And so how do we begin this dish?
So now to start with, I'm going to put my ogiri in my water.
Okay. And wait for it to cook. So I see that you added a bit of water into the pan. Is there a reason for that?
No reason. Just to make it faster.
Okay.
Because I need the water to get hot in time for me.
Okay. So there are so many things that you can use your water yam for, right? We can use it for making Ekpankukwo. Yes, you can use it to make it ekpankukwo. Ekpankukwo is an Ibibio food. Well, it's known, it's a delicacy that is very common with the Ibibio people, people from Cross River, Calabar, Akwa Ibom. Yeah, it's very, 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 very common to us there. I enjoy ekpankukwo. And you can also mix it with cocoyam. It's still the same process, but the difference basically is you wrap it with a leaf.
With grain.
Yes. And then you can also use it for ojojo. Ooh, I love ojojo.
That is Ijebu's food again.
Yes. But if there's something that I have come to realize from using what I am is it's always best to use, like, properly use your what's it called, your ingredients, your spices.
Yeah.
Into the water yam and massage it in so that all those, you know, spices go into the water yam, right?
Yes,
so that the spice is not, you know, separated from the water yam, because water yam is, you know, but well, you just have to basically like properly massage your spices into your water yam before you use it, right? So we begin cooking. We're just going to wait for our ogiri to melt up in the pot.
I'm done with that. So now I'm going to put my beef and the fish.
This is Chef Dunas, and she's making ikokore, or like some people will call it ifokore grade. So quickly, over to you.
So I've added all the protein inside the water.
Okay, kindly let us know, you know, what's gone into the pot.
It's just okay, I have my smoked fish and beef. With beef in it, and water.
Yeah, so there's something you did with the ogiri.
Yeah, I added my ogiri, then I make sure the ogiri was dissolved in the hot water.
Okay.
Before I started the protein.
Okay.
Now I'm going to pour the pepper.
Okay. So is this all pepper? Is there shombo?
No, I use all pepper. In fact, some people even use atagigu.
What's atagigu?
That's the grind pepper. Like the Cameroon pepper.
Okay. So are we just going to leave this to cook for
I'll leave
how
it
long?
to cook. I'll allow the meat to, just the ogiri to enter inside everything. Okay. Then I'll bring it out. Okay. Before I'll now add my grated cocoyam.
Okay, so you're going to take out the beef.
I'll take everything out.
Then you put in the water yam. At what point does the oil go into the mix?
After adding all this, I'll now use that to baptize it.
Ooh, she said baptize.
Yes.
There is nothing like when your food looks oil, like when you use palm oil, use it generously, because that's the beauty of the food or the soup. You know, when you use a lot of oil in your soup or your, you know, your meal, it always looks so nice and inviting, right? All right. So right now we're just going to let our proteins simmer nicely in the pots. Yeah. Allow all of those ogiri, you know, allow the protein to absorb all of the ogiri in the pot, and then we'll put in our water yam. So while we are waiting for that to cook up, let's head over to the couch for parenting discussion with Titi.
It's all about parenting at this point right here on Wake Up Nigeria, and the conversation has already begun. I've been having a conversation about the back to school process that every parent has to go through around this period. Uncle Sele is back. He is a champion of values, character, and he's a coach and philanthropist. He's dedicated to shaping hearts and minds of the next generation. Now, he's standing as a beacon of hope and a tireless advocate for human values. Today on Parenting, let's talk about how we can help our children succeed in school. Yeah, so as parents, some parents, once they've paid the school fees, they've got the school uniform and they bought the stationery, they just allow the kids go to school. It's okay, sir. The school will handle the rest.
No way.
And I feel like a lot of us felt that way when we were growing up as well. We felt we had to rely a lot on teachers and the school environment to learn a lot of things.
No, everything starts from the home. So it's back to school. So the first thing you should do is speak to your children. Then you know, because they're still in holiday mood, you know, most of them are still thinking that they want to play, they want to watch TV, you know, so you need to bring back that structure.
Okay.
You understand? You're going to bed early, you rise in, you know, the things, you have your bath, you brush your teeth, school uniforms ready and things like that. You get to school, what are you doing in school?
Okay.
You know, you need to have that conversation with your children, and you know that structure has to be in place so that they know that, look, holiday season is gone.
Yeah.
The playtime is reduced or even gone for some. It's over. Because like me in my home, during the week, you don't watch TV. We don't want distractions because your mind, you need to be focused on the things that you're learning in school. So parents, we have a whole lot of things to do, you know, with regards to certain structures and responsibilities. You remember, we talked about these things that you need to help your children learn to do so that when they grow up, they won't say, hey, mommy didn't teach me. Daddy didn't teach me. You understand? So back to school, very important for us as parents. You know, your children are going to school. What are you telling them? You know, I always say things like this. Okay, so you're going to school. This is what you will do. The first one, you pay attention.
Pay attention.
Pay attention. Okay. There will be distractions, but pay attention. You understand? You focus. So you help your children. You know, there's this thing where I do, you know, this thing I do that I tell my kids, sit down, don't do anything, just look at me. We try it for 1 minute. Just look at me.
Their attention span.
Yes.
After 1 minute.
Yes.
Your kids actually sit for a whole 60 seconds and just...
We'll teach. You'll teach because the truth is there are a whole lot of distractions around. So if you do one, try. You can do for 2 minutes.
Okay.
Look at me.
Okay.
3 minutes, look at me. Then you tell them why you're doing what you're doing.
Okay.
Because we want you to be able to listen to your teachers.
Okay.
Then the next one is A, ask questions.
Okay.
Oh, ask questions. It's third term. You're going to be learning new things. Don't just watch, listen, you focus, then there's something you don't understand and you're not asking a question. Ask questions.
Okay.
Nobody will shut you down. Your teacher has heard you.
Hopefully no one shuts them down.
No,
hopefully the teachers in their environment are not the type to shut them down.
No, I hope not. I hope not, because you know, when your child gets back from school, you ask questions also. Oh, okay. So what was interesting about school today?
Okay.
You know, so what did you learn? Tell me one thing you learned about school. That conversation must always happen at home, because as parents, you should know what your child is taking in.
Yeah, sure.
And you should know the gaps that they have so that you can fill them up. So you know that, oh, they didn't understand or they don't understand these things. You get home, what's the time? And your child is looking at the clock, or they don't even, you know, those days
you can't connect with what the time is.
Those days used to have that big clock, but these days, I don't know, for most homes they don't have it. But so what's the time? And your child's looking at you and they're saying 8:42. What does it mean? And they can't tell you. So you know that, oh, my child can tell the time. So you need to help, or you need to tell school, my child can tell the time. All those things will happen if you have conversations. What did you do in history today? Oh, really? You don't know this. There's the internet. You know, that part where, as a parent, you help your child also. It helps them, you know, with their mind. Sure. Then P again, practice.
Practice. Okay, so are they're practicing what they learned in school?
Yes,
or?
practicing. You know, you get home, you read also. You read on those things, because as parents, you ensure these things happen. So that's the structure you're setting in place in their minds for school at home when they get back from school. So you read. Oh, you learned about this. Can you search more on the internet about these things?
Okay.
For us that have internet at home and things like that, what are your children using it for? Is it just for games?
Yeah.
Or is it to learn?
Is it for research?
Is it for research? Do you understand? You can help them do things like that. So practice. Oh, I like to, you know, ask my children questions. Oh, tell me about this. Do like a presentation. Okay. Then you can see that, oh, my child is shy. My child can't speak. Oh, don't worry. Nobody knows you are shy except you. Stand and speak.
Okay.
They speak. After a while, they get used to those things. Do you understand? And after practice, A is ask questions again.
Ask questions again. So
we have pay attention.
Pay attention, ask
questions. You have practice. Then we have ask questions again.
So is it the parent asking the questions this time, or is it the child?
So the child is asking questions again.
Okay.
Do you understand? Ask questions. Be free to ask questions, because as you're growing, you're learning new things. You're ask questions. It's good to ask questions, because as you ask, you learn more. Then B is be the best.
So being the best feels very aspirational. You know, there is a lot of intimidation in a lot of classrooms. If you have, for instance, a smaller classroom, maybe 12, 15 children in the class, and there's always a set of kids that are coming first, second, and third.
There's something they're doing.
There's something they are doing that your kids are not doing. But does it mean your kids are not doing their best?
No. So let me give an example. I have 3 daughters. I know one that is very good at maths.
Okay.
I know one that is, not as good as the other one. So when she comes home with 45 over 60, I know she has done well because I know where she was coming from.
Okay.
Do you understand? Yeah. So what I'm doing, I'm not screaming and saying, you are like this, you're like this. I don't use words against my children because words are very powerful, which is one of the things that parents must also do. Use words, to uplift your children. You are the best. Yeah. I know you can do this. As you're going back to school, you tell them you're bright, smart, intelligent, and responsible. So when you get to school, that consciousness goes with them. Now you know areas where they are good. You know areas where they need improvement. So you monitor. That's why as parents, you need to monitor your children also. That's the way you have conversations. So you see something, your child is growing. Oh, she's not really good at math now, but you see, when you keep up, your own side, school does theirs, she gets better. Her best might be different from others, but you know that she's getting better than
that she was
before.
So now I want to touch on something. Everything you've said now, it's going to require a lot of time.
Oh, yes.
And a lot of attention.
Oh, yes.
The average parent is doing a 9 to 5. It's not even 9 to 5 now. It's 9 to 9 in some cases.
Yes,
they're in traffic. They're barely getting by, just pushing to get finance to pay those school
fees, yes.
So how does a parent who hardly even has time for themselves find time to, invest in this child, all this attention you just listed out?
Okay, so you must create that time, even if it's 30 minutes, even if it's 1 hour. You will be tired. You, not always, but you'll be tired. But you see something, the currency for children is time.
Okay.
So they will always need your time. But you see, the thing is, when you're giving time, is it quality?
Okay.
So when you get home, you're tired, and you look at your children and say, hello, how are you doing? And you go to sleep. Even if it's that 30 minutes, that 45 minutes, how are you, and things like that, oh, that is tired, but, tell me something, how was school today, what did you do, and things like that, let me see your communication book, sign.
Okay.
Do you understand? You're tired, but you see something, you can't say because of work, you won't give your children time, because it will also tell that that absence, can lead to something you don't like. So give time, even if it's 30 minutes, 45 minutes.
All right, Uncle Sele, thank you so much for coming to talk to us this month. It's been amazing. Yeah. So Papa B is, first of all, pay attention, ask questions, practice, ask questions again, and
be the best.
Be the best. All right, hopefully you've learned a thing or two today on parenting. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Use our hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC and tag us WakeUpNigeria TVCE with your comments. All right, then, let's take a quick break. There's still more on Wake Up Nigeria.
Yeah. I love the weather. I just stepped out just before while you were having that interesting chat about parenting. And, the rain, there's something rain does to me. They call us pluvophiles. It's soothing, it's therapeutic, it's relaxing. And that is what is happening to me this morning.
Is it the sound of the rain? Or
everything.
The air, the
smell of the rain, the sound of the rain, the feel. So I was just checking out. Yeah, I love driving out in the rain. But then I know that with cars, there are quite a number of issues that could come with your car when you drive under the rain. So do be careful. If you're out this morning, be very careful. It's raining. You don't. You know that thing where hydroplaning. Be very careful when you're going over water, in the puddles and all of that are so much. Just be careful. But when you're watching Wake Up Nigeria, we will be that splash of sunshine on a rainy Tuesday morning.
Yes, indeed. Now the first hour sped by, and we had a blast. The remaining 45 minutes is going to be amazing. We continue to do what we do best. Entertain you. Put a smile on your face. 1,000-meter smile, as we said earlier on.
Exactly. I don't know if MM or our chef this morning. I don't know which of you loves the rain. Which of you loves the rain?
I love the rain.
Huh?
There's something the rain does to your mood, to your day, other than the mud.
Yeah.
I mean,
Other than the mud.
Other than the mud, nah.
Okay.
But I love the rain. I love the smell of it. I love the thought of it. The thought of it alone.
Chef Dina, so
scintillates
what are your
me.
thoughts about rain?
Do you like rain?
I love the rain.
You love the rain?
It makes all my nerves to relax.
Yes. Unlike when it's sunny, you are edgy, you are cranky.
Wow.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
It comes with a lot of...
Okay, it's okay. So people are family rain too much.
Wow.
It's okay. My name is Mike Messikeno.
And I'm Titilaya Oyinson. You can use our hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC across all social media platforms to be a part of the best breakfast show on Nigerian TV.
Which is live with our mobile app.
Yeah.
From there, you could catch us anywhere around the world. And on YouTube also, TVC Entertainment.
Follow us, people. Follow as much as you can. All the socials, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, X, formerly known as Twitter, and even TikTok. We are right there. And yeah, of course, you can watch us on GOTV channel 16, UHF channel 49, and StarTimes channel 121.
When last did you open that app called Threads? Or you need
I actually do.
I know you have been a proponent of the app. You like the app. I'm talking about other people. You love the app. But when last did you open? I'm asking you now. When last did you open Threads? I mean, man. Well,
I'm just not. I think maybe it's the Elon Musk of it all. The X. I don't know. I just love the fact that it's an alternative. A little more wholesome than what is going on.
Elon Musk boys.
Yes, I'm not really sure I
All
like
right.
that.
But
let's tell them what we have left on the show, shall we?
Okay, yes.
David Ine, Nigerian pastor, gospel musician, songwriter, and guitarist. He is going to be right here to perform and, of course, maybe share a little about his passion to learn how to play the guitar by himself. Today, he's performing his song, Chimo.
And then to wrap up the show this morning, we have Dr. Ayodele Rena. He stands as a beacon in the realm of pediatric healthcare. He is a renowned consultant, pediatrician, and of course a leading advocate for child health in Nigeria. Today we're talking about something quite interesting here when it looks at our topic for health.
Cold and catarrh. Cold and catarrh, yeah.
Cold and
how to prevent it.
How to prevent
kids, yeah.
And there's rain this morning.
Yes.
Well, there's no better time to discuss that. So I saw something I want to mention today. We're talking about social media and the use. Did you see a video yesterday of some kids bullying another kid?
I was just about to say, Mike, what's going on?
Yeah, until you go focus. When you do
When we're in the same space, out of space yesterday.
A lot
That's
of us
exactly
were
what I
bullied.
wanted to talk about.
And a number of us also bullied some other people
No,
because
but
speak for yourself.
But this particular
I'm talking about
one,
school.
this particular
I'm saying
video.
something.
I did not bully anybody.
Listen here, you see, look.
Can we establish the story? Can we establish the story?
Oh, yeah, just a number of kids, and they were in school uniform, bullying a fellow, I don't know if it's a classmate or, but a fellow student.
Yeah.
And it was
They gave her a total of 18 slaps.
Oh, there was a longer video.
Yes.
I didn't see that long.
There's a longer one. They gave her a total of 18 slaps. Wow. They pushed her. They played whether they, I don't know what they did with her mouth.
Wow.
I mean, it is a very
alarming,
appalling video.
Wow.
That school should be called into question. There should be a lot. There should be a serious investigation.
Was it in the school environment?
In the school environment.
They were in their uniforms.
Now, they were in,
I don't know. They were in their uniforms and all of that. My point is that I don't know how old that thing is. The school is said to be in Abuja.
Even it's a Nigerian. This happened in Nigeria, and even the parents of the girl has been called out on social media.
Parents of the girl?
Of the girl that was being slapped, that was being bullied.
The parents should not come in yet. It's the school first.
You know how social media is.
No, let's forget that.
They started calling out the parents.
The school first.
And, you know,
anti-bullying. Today, I know that at different times you spoke about which Big Brother star, what's her name now?
Alex.
Alex, who is a champion of
anti-bullying. Yes.
Look, you don't do that. If as a father I see my daughter, like Papa will come and say, I will beat someone. I don't care. I will beat you and beat your own father. You don't do that.
So so the issue now is.
No, I'm thinking for a moment that you're just giving us. What's that?
But you know what?
The environment, obviously, the environment needs to be called into question, and then also the parentage of the bullies themselves, the households of the bullies themselves. Because if that video has their photos or video or pictures in it or faces in it, for instance, those parents should also be called into question. Because what sort of kids are you raising that would feel it's okay to bear down on another child in that way?
You know why I won't get to the parents, and I feel like that one is taking it out of
parents. No, Mike. You need to get the parents
before you get
involved.
to them. They're in the school. What's the school meant for?
So
leave the parents first.
No,
if
Mike.
the school has an anti-bullying policy and a very serious one at that, leave the parents first. Deal with the school first, and then you can talk about the.
Mike, you do know what? No, wait. Do you know what? Wait. There are schools. Wait, Mike. There are schools that it's possible they could have these policies
already.
But then there are schools that will not allow their parents that will not allow their any school administrators to touch their kids or talk to their kids until they are present.
Yes.
They will. They can be.
My point is that they did this in school uniform. First. Parents are secondary in this situation.
Because they were in uniform.
Their uniforms. Yes. It is school.
But then again,
first responsibility. And I say that because there is when you are dealing with something, you first of all go. There's an order. There's a scale of preference. You go to the school first of all. The anti-bullying policy. What does it entail?
So I'm thinking about the safety.
Do they know first of all that it is what are the punitive measures that are put in place?
I think first.
But if there were no adults in that space, there was nothing they could do. If there were no adults in that space, the only thing you could rely on maybe would be CCTV. Maybe there was a camera
obviously.
or someone. If
someone was taking a video,
yes,
someone was with a phone,
but it was probably
and
another
recording
child.
the incident. Probably another child.
On issues like this, I don't think there cannot be different takes. The first one that we all have to go about: bullying is wrong, and for kids, they are learning. The school has to ensure that these things don't happen, or that
Mike, the first point of contact are the parents.
Yeah.
Because a lot of parents see their siblings bullying each other.
Yes.
They do not say anything about it.
Yeah.
So first off, the first point of contact, is the parents. You need to nip it in the bud. The minute a sibling is beating another parent, another sibling, nip it in the bud immediately. This should have been our WhatsApp, but we don't have enough time to talk about this.
So we're obviously watching this story.
Has that responsibility. Get that out. If you're first of all going to do that, get the school involved. Get the parents involved. Whatever. It shouldn't be allowed to happen during the formative years of any child.
Yeah.
We'll be looking out for your thoughts on this. Use our hashtag Wakeupnigeria on TVC. Tag us and let's hear your thoughts.
Man, we should have talked about this.
Wow.
Mike Mesekeno, the news. The Court of Appeal in Abuja on Monday did not sit to hear the appeal lodged by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission against the order of the Kogi State High Court, which restrained the anti-graft agency from arresting the former governor, Yahaya Bello. The Kogi State Court, in a ruling on the 17th of April, restrained the EFCC from arresting, detaining, and prosecuting Bello. The Judge, I.A. Jamil, gave the order in a 2-hour judgment delivered in a suit in Lokoja, the Kogi State capital. The EFCC is seeking to arraign the former governor on 19 counts bordering on alleged money laundering, breach of trust, and misappropriation of funds to the tune of 80.2 billion naira. A UK parliamentary researcher and another man have been charged with spying for China after allegedly providing information which could be useful to an enemy. Christopher Cash, the researcher, and Christopher Berry were charged under the Official Secrets Act. The Met Police said they are accused of giving articles, notes, documents, or information to a foreign state. China has called the allegations malicious slander. Counter-terrorism police have described the allegations as very serious. Mr. Berry from Whitney in Oxfordshire and Mr. Cash of Whitechapel, London, were arrested last March in connection with the investigation. It was previously reported that one of the men, Mr. Cash, was a parliamentary researcher involved with the China Research Group and who is understood to have had access to several conservative MPs. The offences alleged against Mr. Cash are claimed to have happened between the 20th of January 2022 and the 3rd of February 2023, while those against Mr. Berry are alleged to have happened between 28th of December 2021 and the 3rd of February 2023. That's the news. We'll take a time out now. Stay with us. The rest of the show is coming right up soon. I will tell you that there is no better way to end today's show than have the noisy Niger pediatrician in the house. Well, because of a topic that we're talking about today, this is the best time to talk about it. Dr. Ayodele Rana, he stands as a beacon in the realm of pediatric healthcare. He's a renowned consultant. He's been there, he's done that, and of course, a leading advocate for child health in Nigeria. Today, we're talking about preventing cough and catarrh.
Yes.
It is great to have you.
Yes, so good to be here, Mike.
This is not only for kids, because this is also for adults, because this is affecting everybody. It's rainy season. It's been raining since 4:30, 5 o'clock.
Yes.
Almost 3 hours of rain. But if you see anybody now sniffing and all of that, it's not unusual.
Not at all.
You know. But there are things that you can do. We're talking about prevention here. What are the basic? How do we start talking about cough and catarrh and all of that? Okay, no, nobody. I doesn't ask him to define cough and catarrh. We all know what that is all about. How do we start with preventing cough and catarrh?
Okay, so I guess the first thing to talk about, Mike, is the idea that the most common cause of cough and catarrh is the common cold, which is caused by a virus. And the virus is transmitted from one person to another, meaning that it's communicable. So I think we all remember during the COVID period when we talked about how you should cough into your elbow and not into your palms. People have started coughing into the open markets.
Everywhere.
Into the open market.
Factory settings.
We have gone back to our old sinful ways. So, I think people have to go back to that. Coughing into their elbow, cough etiquette is really important, because when a person coughs or sneezes, the particles of the virus actually are, suspended in the droplets that they release. And if you were to come into that environment and inhale it, especially for really young children whose immune systems are still trying to find out what's going on in the world, then they acquire that infection. The strangest thing about it, Mike, is also that sometimes if a person coughs or sneezes in their hands and touches a door handle, and a child or another adult comes and touches that same door handle and rubs their eyes, they will get a cough.
I remember something happened at the inception, at the beginning phase of COVID. I was talking to my mom on the phone. I know she was a little bit, the anti, the theories that are going on.
Yes.
And I told her about the things that she needs to be done. And there was something she said which was quite remarkable. You say, but these are things I taught you as a kid now. Like, they are basic things that you should do. I see, when you mention this now, I remember that these are things that even after COVID, not for only COVID, but other viruses, that's the way they spread.
Yes.
If you put it into your elbow, there's a hard, how many people
what
want
are you
to get
exactly using to open your, the door? The thing I wanted to address is actually, so when it comes to the rainy season and then cold environments, so the cold environment does not cause an infection from cough and catarrh. For a person who begins to have cough and catarrh or catarrh or cough due to exposure to cold, that person is more likely to have allergies or asthma. Yes, so if you're a person that enters the cold environment and starts to cough or sneeze, my dear, go and get yourself checked for allergies, the family history of allergies, or possibly asthma, especially if the cough is worse in the late hours of the night or early hours of the morning. Yes. However, when people say that, if you're exposed to cold, if you lie down for ground, if you are exposed to AC, you'll catch pneumonia. It's not true.
Okay, now this is me now. Let me bring it personal. I know it's about kids, but this affects everybody. For me, it's sneezing, and I think it's allergies. So I normally dust is the number one.
So that's a really common cause.
Dust is number one. But then at times when I get into somewhere that's a bit cold and I just want to sneeze and all of that.
Yes.
In some ways.
Yes. So that's definitely some sort of your immune system is hypersensitive to the cold environment. And so what it tries to do is that it tries to protect you from the cold environment by making your blood vessels constrict a bit, by making your airways close up a little bit to prevent all that cold air from getting in. And the way in which your body responds to that constriction of your airways is by coughing to try to expand so that more air can get in. Some people have really bad wheezing when they actually exposed to cold. For the parents out there, unfortunately, children are entitled to at least 8 episodes of cough and catarrh in a year, because if they are going to school, Sunday school, in creche, exposed to area children, interaction. Children are practically licking each other's faces, trying to pick catarrh out of the nose of their neighbor. So they are constantly being exposed to these things. And so there is no time that is too early to begin to teach your children cough etiquette.
Now, prevention now, are there drugs, pills, vaccines, anything that we can do, you know, to protect them before that, anything medically advisable?
I wish, you know, whoever comes up with the cough, the cure to the common cold is going to be the richest man alive. But unfortunately, nobody has come up with this because the virus is really sneaky and clever and changes all the time. So I'd say that when it comes to preventing, there's no drug, unfortunately. So pumping yourself with vitamin C, you know, when you have a cold, will not make the cold go away faster. If you need to take vitamin C, it has to be before the cold even
long before the cold, yeah?
So you have to have had a good supply, meaning that, you know, you should be eating the right things. A lot of citrus fruits, green leafy vegetables, green and red bell peppers, they are great sources of vitamin C. Good sleep is very important. Make sure that you're also getting enough sunlight. Make sure that you are getting exercise.
Enough sunlight in this heat?
Yeah, not enough sunlight under the hot sun. Come out in sunlight around between 10 a.m. to early, maybe 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. and then go back into your house.
Yeah.
If you don't have to be in it. Vitamin D from the sunlight actually is a great source. Yeah, it actually helps to improve the
something I want to really point out is the kind of foods that we can be eating, because that's where we are in an environment where, look, we are very, very starchy based.
Very starch based, I agree.
Yeah, you take rice in the morning, by the afternoon, yam in the night, and you think that that's a balanced diet. I don't know about. But please, can you elaborate a bit more? What kind of foods can we focus on for that vitamin C, you know, enrichment?
Yeah. So when it comes to eating, I agree, we're very starch based, and protein can be expensive. And so when you do see people put protein inside, the beef is barely the size of a stock cube, like a safety pin, like.
I don't need to eat it last.
What's going on? And I'll keep that safety pin until the last thing. So protein is very important when it comes to the immune system. And so what I say is that eat protein of high biological value, which is especially the animal sources of protein like eggs, beef, fish, seafood. If you are the 1% of the 1% in the Lagos, then, as I said, you know, green leafy vegetables are a great source of vitamins. As a matter of fact, green leafy vegetables and red bell peppers are a better source of vitamin C than even oranges. And making sure that you incorporate vegetables into your children's and your own food is a great way of making sure that your immune system has all the resources it needs to function.
What are your thoughts on supplements? Vitamin C supplements?
Okay. So supplements are great, and the thing about vitamin C supplements is that fortunately, if whatever excess you take, it can be excreted. So take your supplements, yes, but make sure that you take it after a discussion with your physician. So yes, I'm all for supplements, because quite frankly, I was actually carrying a bag of fruits, you know, back home yesterday, and somebody on the road was not like, you go give me some for inside though. I mean, while it seemed like it was like a joke, but I kind of feel like fruits are really not that cheap per se, and people don't really eat fruits like that. I get that, you know, it's not somebody that is not eating fruits, not who will go and buy supplements. But if you find out that you're not getting enough fruits for one reason or the other, then please get supplements, but discuss with your physician. But still try and eat fruits, because at the end of the day, really, you get the fiber from the fruits, you get other sorts of nutrients.
And your fruits, you're talking about what was in that bag yesterday?
Yeah, so I had watermelons.
Watermelon number one.
I had, even though technically cucumbers are fruits, but people call them vegetables. I had cucumbers.
Okay.
I had apples. I'm not rich, but I shall bought apples. I still buy apple this Lagos. So I bought apples, and I also had mangoes.
Mangoes, wonderful. I think that's a recipe out there. If he could buy that one, then you definitely should get that one. Now, there's that movement. There's some people I've seen online who say don't blend your fruits. It's better to eat them, maybe because of the fiber content or something. And all that. Do you have anything to say about that blending versus eating them as they are?
Yes. So when it comes to, first of all, juicing the fruits, while juices are not a bad idea, the problem with juices is that, as people always demonstrate, if you were to actually squeeze 10 oranges, you can finish the juice of 10 oranges. But if you were to, and you'll be hungry again in an hour, but if you were to eat 10 oranges, you won't be able to stand up from where you are. So the whole fruits are more filling, that's one. And then two, by the time you blend and make it into a smoothie, you've released all the sugar. So you've broken down the cell wall, you've broken down a lot of the components of the fruits that is encasing the sugar. And the sugar is just free to roam around. Meaning that as soon as you take that, the spike in your blood glucose that you will get will be much more
Exactly,
steep.
That's what I've heard. And so you're releasing more sugar.
You're releasing more sugar. And so you'll get hungrier more quickly than if you actually had the fruits, the way your body gradually begins to digest the sugar, because it is still encased within the cells of the
this thing can cause a little bit of controversy, because people out there will tell you, smoothie is perfect. There's nothing better than the smoothie in the morning.
If they take a smoothie, but make sure that you take it sparingly and that you are doing more of the whole fruits than smoothie in the morning, smoothie in the afternoon, smoothie in the night.
It has become a balanced diet for some people.
So smoothie insurgents.
Doctor, it's always a pleasure talking to you.
Always great to be here.
Enlightening. We have something in the kitchen for you. Are you fasting? Is this something you can eat, or you just come and look at it?
I will pop in.
You pop in? All right, let's go there. Let's go there. We have something for you here.
Welcome to the kitchen, Dr. Ayo.
In short, this is a surprisation for me.
I like that.
No, I will push for this. Lamne knows what I'm talking about. But hey, come on, it's great to have you here. Dr.
Yes,
thank you.
Good to have you. This is Chef Dunas, and she's made for you ifokore.
Wow.
Also known as ikokore.
Ikokore.
It depends on how you like to pronounce it, but please enjoy. We have fish in there. You talked about proteins earlier on, so yes, we have beef in there. We have our fish, smoked Titus fish, right?
Yeah.
And banla.
Yes,
So
I know one very popular food influencer who actually smells his food before he eats it.
Wow.
I like that, actually.
And people have come to drag him left, right, and center, for he knows himself.
Okay, but you're not going to do that now.
I think there's some cultures. You actually, it's good manners to smell before you eat. It's actually for some cultures.
So this looks really good, and for the record, this is my first time trying the kokore.
Oh, you're a man.
Okay.
Have a taste.
Thank you so much.
I'm going with this.
Okay, no, don't worry. Hold on first.
Well done, Chef Dunas.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ayo.
Thank you. It's been a wonderful show. Thank you for being a part of the show. Thank you for rounding up that way.
Thank you.
I will take my vitamin serious. We will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Bye.